Imagine you're given the keys to the kingdom. Imagine you are passed on the blueprint to print cash. You're taught the philosophy on how to make a generous game and be incredibly favourable to your player base. And then you decide to go off on your own and screw it all up, ignore all of that, do the polar opposite, and just burn all of that ideology. That's exactly what Yostar have just done. This is a company that have published Arknights for the last few years in global. A company that have worked alongside Hypergriff on a game that is incredibly generous. A game that allows you to buy 6-star character selectors with an insane amount of meta units in them for $30. You can get yourself a character and a temple for $30 fucking dollars, right? These guys looked at that and thought, now we're not going to do that. We're going to do something different. We're going to talk about this because Stella Sora is an absolute abomination of greed in the gacha space. In the gacha space, right? When you're talking about greed in the gacha space, you know it's bad. So let's talk about some things here that have changed. I'll show you some stuff on screen. We're going to talk about it and we're going to discuss how fucking bad this is. If they don't change this quickly, and I mean by the end of the week, and don't have an announcement out tomorrow that they are making this change, this is cooked. This is insulting. I can ignore shitty gacha systems in a game if I can continue to play the game. I don't want to play this game anymore. It's gone from one of my most anticipated gacha games to being a game that makes me feel dirty playing because we got rug pulled. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. And let's go on a journey of pain. Okay, before we talk about the really bad stuff, let's just mention some changes here that I suppose you could argue are positives, right? In regards to 5-star Trekker base rates going from 1.6 to 2%. Those rates are better. That's kind of where the good stuff ends, right? Apart from here, these first clear rewards have gone up to 50 now, which sounds great. More than doubled, right? More than doubled. Sounds amazing. It's not quite that, guys. I can't express to you how frustrated I am about this whole situation. Okay? So if you want to pull a character in this game now, it is going to cost you a ridiculous amount of money. An absolute ridiculous amount of money. Before we get into the price, though, let me just show you the cost of a temple when the game was in beta. This is from Nanoha61 doing pulls 4 months ago in the beta. If you look, my video I streamed 4 months ago, the beta time. So this is from the beta. You can see here, it's 1,500 currency to get a temple. So it's 1,500 for a pull. It's no longer that, guys. It's no longer that. You can see here, this is for the signature weapon, right? It's going to cost you 300 of the same currency to pull for this weapon as well. But if you want to pull on a character, right, it's going to cost you 300 currency to pull on a character now. Let's just hop over to the store a second, right? So, not only have they rug pulled us and doubled the price per pull in the game, bearing in mind it was 1,500 in a beta, and I understand betas are subject to change. There's usually fixes to a game, tweaks to systems, maybe rate changes like we saw 1.6 to 2.0 in the rates now. If we just have a quick look here, you know, I showed you it was 1.6 and it went up to 1.8, whatever it was. It now starts off at base rate of 2, right? Better. That's a great tweak you want to see from a beta to the game. They're tweaking little things to make it better for the player base. They ain't making it better for the player base. We head over to the shop right here, guys. We've got a battle pass that gives you like, what, 11 pulls. It's not great, right? It's not great. That's not the crux of the problem here, right? If we hop over to the Luminar Exchange, we can see these atrocious price points. It seems as if Stella Sora and Yostar either are trying to take the piss here, right, to the next level and hope they get away with it and maybe try and pull off a devs listen moment, or somebody just fucked up and this game is still priced around the 150 cost of a pull. and a 10 pull costing 1,500 rather than 3,000. Because if you look here, if you spend $99 on the game right now, minus the bonus, because remember, that's a first-time bonus, that really doesn't count, you will get 28 pulls for $100. Right? It's 120 pity to guarantee a character, okay? Right? Now, obviously, not very often you're probably going to go to 120 pulls. That's 120 pulls to guarantee that character. That is something like $423 or something like that to get a character. That's not including the signature as well, which is going to cost the same amount of currency also. You can earn that in-game in other ways, but it's the same amount in regards to its actual price point. $3 doesn't even get you one pull. For the price of $3, you get fuck all in the game. Now, knock that up to just under $4, you can get yourself a pull. So for nearly $5 in 2025, Yostar think $4 is worth one pull. One pull. Okay? There's 120 guarantee. You can lose multiple 50-50s up on the way to 120, which I actually don't have a problem with. The rates and the gacha system itself is not the problem in this game, okay? I have no issue with it at all. I had no issue with it in the beta. I lost multiple 50-50s on the way up to my first 120, which I'm kind of cool with that. You're getting multiple 5-star characters in the run-up to your 120. The problem is, if you have to do that and you're having to spend, that's the rent for the month for a lot of people. That's a really nice car payment for the month. The fact that they think that this is going to fly is insane. Apparently, the doormats, the walkovers of the gacha space, no offense, JP, but you do take a lot, are annoyed about this, says a lot. Apparently, Sienna are angry about this. I would love to go into Bilibili, but I don't have access to my account at the moment. So, if anybody's got information from Bilibili, please let me know. Hopefully, we'll see over the next few days that Sienna are angry about this as well, because I can't see how they're not. Like, I've been seeing Reddit post after Reddit post of whales talking about this is even too much for them. If you go to the Discord server now, it's on fire. That's pretty much all people are talking about is the fucking price point and the doubling of the price. Like, they rug pulled us. They gave us a beta price and doubled it. And are telling us to spend this much money to pull for characters. The biggest shame about this is actually a cool little game. This is actually a cool little game. And as I say, Yostar have been working along Hypergriff, one of the most generous gacha games out there. A game where you can spend $30 and get a selector and a 10 pull. A game where you're getting a crazy amount of currency in game each week for clearing stuff. A game that has limited banners every 3 months. Everything else pretty much goes into the standard pool. Now, characters do go into the standard pool in this, but we don't know when. They don't say when, so it could be months, right? But it doesn't really matter, because at these price points, it's daylight robbery, right? This is a game, as I say, makes me feel like they've spat at me in the street. Like, they need to change this. These price points have to change. They have to double, or halve, should I say, how much it costs per pull. And then for the people who've spent on the game, need to get that back in in-game currency or be able to apply for a refund. And they need to do it quick. And you won't hear me saying this usually. Even if you haven't spent money on this game, you deserve some free pulls. Because this isn't a mistake. This is insulting beyond belief. This, I feel aggrieved. Right? Like, I'm being facetious, I'm joking around. But I want some fucking free... I want a 10 pull. I'm so insulted by this absolute greed that I feel like I deserve 10 pulls. Because I genuinely feel like they've spat at me. That's how it feels. It's insulting for them to think in any day and age that this is okay. But in an age when grocery bills are through the roof, electricity bills, fuel costs are through the roof, and they come along and say, do you want 28 pulls for $100? Because, I think that's a pretty good deal, guys. It's a pretty good deal. As I say, these guys were given the fucking blueprint on how to do a good game and monetize the game. Again, I know it's not Arknight, so I can't do a one-for-one monetization plan. And I don't even begrudge them not being that friendly and attempting to be like, well, actually, we're gonna go a little bit more unplayer friendly. I'll be cool with it. This takes the piss. Again, I just want to reiterate, the actual rates and the actual gacha system itself, don't think's bad. It's not a problem in itself. It's the cost to pull ratio. It's the very little amount of currency you're going to be getting in the game. And then it's the cost that if you actually want to spend to get some currency to get a pull, $3 doesn't even buy you a pull. $100 doesn't even get you a third of the way, right? It gets you a quarter of the way to hard pity, to the spark in the character. Like, I've seen some creators talking about this and saying, I don't necessarily want to doom post Yostar. Fuck that. I do. This is taking the piss, right? They need to fix this. We were speaking about this in my stream. They can save this. There's a good game here. They can save this, okay? They have to act fast. I'm recording this on the 20th, right? The game came out early hours of the morning today for me. It's nearly midnight. If I don't wake up without some kind of announcement, I can't see how this works. Because this has to be fixed by the weekend. And they have to front run it with an announcement of, we're getting it fixed, guys. Massive apology. And be sincere. This is a monumental fuck up of like massive proportions. I have never been this like angry about a video game, right? Because again, it makes me not want to play it. And I understand it's just a video game. I'm more than aware of that. And in terms of my anger in the world, this is a simmer. But in terms of video game, I'm fucking pissed, right? They are taking the fucking piss. And this needs to change. This absolutely needs to change. And if it doesn't, Yostar are not cooked. Yostar are massive. This game is cooked. And their reputation going forward is going to be absolutely obliterated. They have published a lot of games. I am like 99.9% sure this is their very first foray into developing a game. They control all the keys to this. They can dictate how it goes. And they chose to just drive it into a brick wall while fucking pissing out the window on everybody as they pass by, right? So people look at the car crash and go, you know what? I'm not even going to help him. Not even going to help him. That's kind of what it feels like to me. Mad analogy, but it's flabbergasting. I am shooketh, like blown away, genuinely blown away. Aside from that, I think the game's fine. I saw MTash saying like the game's too easy. Like it's the start of the game, right? A gacha game start off like that. Pretty much every gacha game is piss easy at the start. We know it's going to get turned into a stat stick. We know there's going to be difficulty going forward. We know mono attribute teams are going to be a big part of the game and that. And there's probably going to be potentially some really hard content in this if they dial it up because the design of the game has that ability. So I don't care about that. The game itself for me has potential. They just took a monumental shit on it. Like, there's games out there, right, that I play that have got shit systems, or I ignore it because I can just enjoy the story or just enjoy the gameplay. Don't feel like I can do this because it's sullied the experience so badly, it makes me not want to play the game at all. And I don't do that often, right? I can just enjoy a game for what it is and ignore spending on it if it's that bad. This is like such a piss take, such a 180. Do not want to play this anymore. I'm going to keep it installed. I'm going to play a little bit more, grudgingly, in the hope with the huffing of the copium to the max, that within the next 24 hours, we're getting an announcement, and within the next few days, this is fixed. Because if not, this game's cooked. It's done. And I hope it gets absolutely tore apart over the next few days by CCs in the West, in the East. And everybody says, fuck you, Yostar. This is not cool. Because this is what they deserve, right? They absolutely deserve all the negativity around this. And I've usually got a bit of a silver lining for most companies of like, well, you know, apart from the game actually being good, which is the worst thing, which makes it even worse, this is fucking ass. This is absolutely ass. Let me know what you think down below. This is what you get for being hopeful about a game. It's the hope that kills you, right? It's the hope that kills you. And I was hopeful for this game. Still a little bit there. Come on, Yostar. Fix this shit. You can't think you can get away with this. And if you spend on this game, I'm sorry. Fuck you. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Let me know what you think down below. Give the video a like. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you all in the next one. Terra.